Dear viewers, the topic which we will cover today is 100 days of Biden-Kamala administration. The phrase 100 days, that's very interesting because it is said that if someone is in power, someone gets power, takes the oath of office, can perform in 100 days. And that is what was expected from President Joseph Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris. So 100 days have passed. January 20th, when the Biden-Kamala administration took over, they took the oath. So the question is that in 100 days, one cannot expect a miracle or miracles, but one can ask that what is there anything which Biden-Kamala administration can show to American voters and American people and the world at large? I think there are three areas which are very remarkable, and these three areas prove that in 100 days President Joseph Biden has been able to seriously deal with issues, challenges, problems and so forth. The first is certainly that how the pandemic devastated American society. Hundreds and thousands of people were killed. They died because of the pandemic. It basically destabilized American economy and society. So the first thing which has been done in 100 days is basically $1.9 trillion of stimulus program. $1.9 trillion, that's a huge amount. It has been passed by the Congress. And the purpose of that plan is to support those Americans who have been hit hard as far as the pandemic concerned. They have lost their jobs and things like that. So it's a big achievement. And last year also, when the Trump administration was in power, there was a bailout package which was announced, but it was not that significant, like $1.9 trillion. The second thing which the Biden-Kamala administration in 100 days, it has not been done as such, but the debate has been unleashed. The proposal has been prepared, and on March 23rd this year, it was announced that a proposal of $3 trillion investing in infrastructure, education, workforce development and fighting climate change. These four areas. $3 trillion will be spent. And the idea is basically that that quantum of money will change the US, will create millions of jobs, will bring prosperity to the hard hit American people. And it is yet to be seen how that the proposal of $3 trillion, which basically aims to improve the infrastructure, which means which primarily like the roads and the bridges and the railways, and of course as far as the education is concerned, workforce development training and climate change. So climate change, global warming, that is basically something which the Biden-Kamala administration is giving a lot of priorities. The third thing in 100 days, and President Joseph Biden, he gave a speech also 2 weeks ago, a week ago. It was on to control the gun culture in the US. It's very unfortunate that every day one can hear news, read reports about people being killed in different American states as a result of the use of firearms. And any American can buy weapons, lethal weapons from various stores or shops, where weapons are sold. So, President Biden, he basically argues that in order to save American lives, because if you have people who are armed, and there are many cases that in various American states incidents take place, and some of the people, they are termed to be insane. They kill, they go to McDonald's, they go to any shopping mall and they start killing people. So that is because of the fact that weapons are available. I mean, no questions asked. And that is how different incidents took place. Like, for example, in April 1995, in the Oklahoma City, the federal building was destroyed. There was a terrorist attack, and the person, Timothy McVeigh, who was held responsible, he was a white supremacist, and he got various chemicals which are used for the bomb and things like that. So the purpose is that the thing is basically that if such things are available, then there is a misuse. But there are people who are against regulating the sale of weapons, and they say that it is their right, and they quote the American Constitution. It is their right that they can carry firearms. But these days, to carry firearms, to buy firearms, and then when such weapons are used against people, or in order to settle old discourse, so there is an idea to control the sale of firearms, and there is a gun lobby in the US which is very powerful, and that gun lobby has so much of clout as far as the Congress is concerned, the members of House and the members of Senate. So it has to be done by the Congress. If President Biden he wants to reduce the sale of firearms. The other things basically that how President Biden took a serious notice when racial polarization, when people being killed, particularly from the Asian community, as something very serious incident which took place in Atlanta, and and also in Washington DC. So basically, when the non-whites are targeted, and who can forget George Floyd, the incident, Black Lives Matter. So the top of his agenda is also to deal with racial polarization in the US. So these are the domestic issues, and certainly in 100 days it is not fair to expect miracles from any government, from any administration, but it seems that the areas which we have covered, ranging from the stimulus program of $1.9 trillion and $3 trillion of program to rebuild America, American infrastructure, education, climate change, and workforce development. So it is just like to set the ball rolling, and calls to control the gun culture. In the arena of foreign policy, this is in 100 days, certainly the Biden administration has not been able to give proper attention, but this administration, it reversed, some of the unpopular acts of Trump administration. For example, that the US rejoined the World Health Organization, the Paris climate change, that thing, and some of the immigration laws, changes which were made during Trump administration have been reversed. But certainly in case of the Doha Agreement or the Doha Accord, of February 28, 2020, when the US and the Taliban, they agreed, and the US agreed for withdrawal of its forces from Afghanistan. So I don't see any possibility in 100 days there will be any headway, and the and the Biden administration will not comply with the withdrawal, American military withdrawal item in the Doha Accord. But certainly there is a change in foreign policy that how the Biden-Kamala administration is trying to follow the policy of multilateralism, the policy of inclusiveness, unlike what Donald Trump or the Trump administration was in the 4 years of his tenure, unilateralism. And it didn't care about its allies also. So therefore, the slogan that the US will take the world and it will not be the other way around. So the US will take the world along, therefore, in case of the allies, the Biden administration is also serious as far as the climate change thing is concerned, has called a summit of 40, countries, the leaders, to discuss global warming, emission of gases and climate change in 100 days. So that is something which is remarkable. And the leadership role of the US, which the Biden administration wants to reassert, it has failed in case of Myanmar. Certainly it has not been able to take any concrete step to declare Myanmar as a pariah state, to impose sanctions against. In terms of its relations with China, certainly there is no big change. In Russia there is further you can say rupture in relations between Russia and the US. But the Biden administration has been able to a large extent, has been able to restore the confidence of international community that the US will play a leadership role as far as the world is concerned, and for world peace, for human rights, for democracy. And it is yet to be seen in coming 3.5 years how things unfold. So one can keep fingers crossed as far as the performance of Biden-Kamala administration is concerned. But certainly, to conclude, I would say that in 100 days, the performance of Biden-Kamala administration is okay, is not bad. Thank you very much.